with my mother. She came in to visit because it's my girl's birthday party today, and it is now past the party, so we're just taking some time to walk about in the garden because she enjoys gardening almost as much as I enjoy gardening. So this is some good mother-daughter time. So we are in the vegetable garden and the herb garden, and we're just meandering. So here we are walking right in the entrance.
Sage?
Sage, yeah. I love this. This is, I think this is just regular garden sage, but then
ooh, yes.
This is Santalina. Have you smelled Santalina before?
Yes, yes.
We have a gray
This
version
makes a nice
over
hedge.
by the house. It makes a hedge. Oh, that's really
A nice
cool.
little low hedge.
I believe that.
Soapwort?
Yes, this is soapwort. Good job. So the cool thing about this one actually is that this is one plant. Like you can lift up, it goes back to one root and it just kind of spreads and drapes.
1 year did that?
Yeah.
How old is this?
Well, it comes back every year, so now it's about 4 years old maybe.
Wow, I want some of that.
I know, right? I tried to divide it, but that's when I discovered it was only one plant.
Do the bees like it or the butterflies?
Oh my goodness, they're all over it. All over it. And in the if you see, there's little seedlings coming up here. This is where my spillanthus is growing, my toothache plant.
Yep. That's a good plant.
Yeah.
That really works.
I'm so excited. And then I got some sunflowers. And some...
nasturtium.
Yep, I got a nasturtium, some peas that didn't do a whole lot, but then some yard-long noodle beans growing up now.
Oh, well, that would be nice.
And do you see my chamomile?
How big is that?
I know. She understands my struggles.
We grew this in Frederick, do you remember? In the children's garden?
I do remember that. That's one of the reasons why I love it so much, because it reminds me of my childhood. But also, I mean,
go out and pick it in the evenings.
Chamomile is really good just to have as in general too, but you know, she remembers the struggle that I had trying to get chamomile to grow. So this is exciting for her too, to see that I have this bed. Oh, Mom, come look at this. Do you mind? This is my mugwort, and mugwort is super beautiful. Look underneath the leaves. Do you see how pretty? Hello,
Silver.
chicken. It's silver underneath.
Does it smell good?
It's.
Can't really smell it. What
It's
is
like
this for?
this is in the wormwood family, and so this is a really
it
good.
looks like an Artemisia leaf.
It is, yes. It's an Artemisia, so it does a lot of anti-worming.
When you need that.
Right? Or you can give it to your animals too, you know. I've got a lot of chickens and stuff like that. And
what about this?
oh, this is the valerian, which
this works really good, but doesn't smell very good.
yes,
I'm not going to smell it.
the roots smell like wet gym socks.
Yes.
But the butterflies and the bees love.
Oh, yeah.
See, one's camping out right there, sleeping for the night. But
What
I make my mom tinctures of valerian root, so if she ever needs, you know, a little help sleeping at night, I take it sometimes when I need help sleeping. But valerian root is very good at that, better than NyQuil. And there's no morning hangover, I guess, as you could call it. These are poppies, yeah.
They closed up in the night?
They close up at the night, isn't that cute? And then in between, I planted seeds of Gilia. Is that how you pronounce it?
Spell
Is
it.
Gilia?
Probably.
Yeah. So I planted Gilia here, and then also some red valerian, or Jupiter's beard.
This is pretty.
Oh, yes.
What's in here?
That's the bud of the fennel as it unravels.
Oh.
Isn't that so pretty? And then look at the drops from the
that
rain.
purple bronze stuff?
This is the bronze fennel. Yeah,
Oh,
so
that
it's
is
got like
lovely.
little feathers getting ready to uncurl.
Looks like a little fairy plant.
It really is. And this is my, if you, well, here's the rock rose, which is medicinal. I planted the rock rose knowing that it was medicinal and I wanted it for the medicinal properties. But since then, I have not looked into it. I've just kind of let it do its thing because I'm busy doing other things. So I don't actually remember what the rock rose is for, but I've looked it up a few times and I remember each time going, oh, I'm so glad that I planted that. So
it's going to be good.
This
Eucalyptus?
No, this is Rhodiola rosea. I got this from Iceland. I ordered roots from Iceland. Wow. It grows down to zone 1. Wow. But Rhodiola rosea, you use the roots and it spreads, and it is such a beautiful, it looks like a succulent. Mm-hmm. It could be a succulent. But I'm really excited about this.
It's in cosmetics or something?
Yeah, they use it for a lot of things. It's one of the most potent medicinals that I have in this whole garden. I'm really, really excited about it. So then we got blueberries, comfrey, beans, and some flowers coming up. The blueberry bushes in this area, Donna planted them a long time ago, so these have a lot going on. They're very productive, I guess. And then I have my saffron, crocus saffron right there, growing in the bed so that the voles don't get it, because saffron
so is this more of the sandy
bulbs
garden?
Voles really like. This is, pardon me?
Or the sandy garden?
Yes, exactly. So all the sandy stuff is up here, and so this is where all the herbs are. So we have bee balm and comfrey, there's valerian. That is the comfrey, yeah.
That's comfrey?
Yep. Yeah. And then poppies. Look at this beautiful poppy. Isn't that just gorgeous? Look at with the water drops on it. Isn't that so beautiful? And I love the seed pods too. They're so whimsical. And then there's a red poppy right there.
Where did you get this poppy from?
I planted those from seed.
Did you order the seeds? Or did you just...
Those were in a seed mix that I planted and I spread around, and they kind of came over here on their own. I planted them over in the food forest over there. Huh. And so
from way over there.
Yes, I send the girls over there to pick it when they're arguing with each other. And then the chamomile calms them down.
Oh, really?
And it works really well. Oh, let me show you this. This is good stuff. Yep. So I just planted this the other day. Well, first of all, there's the asparagus. It's lovage.
Oh, lovage. Now, I never grew that.
And apparently this is really good for pollinators as well as the medicinal and the other stuff. And then we have Joe Pyeweed.
That's a good one.
For the butterflies and pollinators. But Joe Pyeweed also, I just learned this actually, boneset is the same family as Joe Pyeweed.
And they just happen to be next to each other?
And they just happen to be next to each other. That's how I planted it. I didn't mean it that way. But then they also have the same medicinal qualities, and you can use them interchangeably. So isn't that interesting?
But this one's much smaller.
This one is much smaller, and this is more of the wild form. Although Joe Pyeweed is pretty wild anyway, but
yeah, it gets pretty big.
This is very difficult to grow. This took a few years to get going.
This is lovely with the rain on it.
Oh my goodness, yes it is. Let me get a close-up of that. That's so pretty. This is my astragalus. You can see I have some rocks painted for them.
What do you do with that?
Astragalus root it's a adaptogenic herb, which is really good to have in your garden. So things like astragalus, ginseng, dongling cow, jaguan, reishi, stuff like that. Yes. And then I planted some.
They just help everything, right?
They help everything. They balance out the body.
Yeah.
And my Roman chamomile. Oh, and I planted eucalyptus right here, which my yellow dock is kind of fallen over in the rain. The eucalyptus ends up being annual, but that's okay. And then I have some parsley, some valerian, and then I have
How big
vervain.
will that eucalyptus get?
Official vervain, not the blue vervain.
Mm-hmm.
This gets really big and bushy. The eucalyptus, this is silver drop. It gets very wide. So I have 5 plants of those. I'm going to get a good harvest after that.
You can also use that at Christmas.
I can use it at Christmas, yes. Yarrow. Look at my calamus root, or sweet fly. It's going to start blooming this year.
First time?
First time.
How old is it?
It is 3 years old. And then here is a serviceberry.
Oh, those
or
are good.
Juneberry. Yeah, I'm so excited about that because I didn't realize when I was planting it how wonderful it was. I got it because I knew that it was for a good thing to have in the food forest, but then I researched it more because I wanted to know what it was going to look like, and I fell in love. And so now I want to get serviceberries everywhere, but it looks like a giant flowering cherry all
Does
the
it
time.
get that
Almost
big?
like, yeah, it
Well,
turns
doesn't
into a
look like
tree.
much right now, does it?
No, it doesn't. This is my Juneberry right here. But it's going to get into a big, not a big tree, but a decorative tree, like a size of like a dogwood or something like that. And then my hops.
Ah.
Well, I got cucumbers growing right here. And then I had some extra, so I put them back there so they can grow up on the fence. Motherwort, but then the hops have turned into a monster. They're taking
Do they
over.
smell like anything?
Pardon me?
Do they smell like anything yet?
You know, I don't know. I've never smelled the leaves. It just smells fresh.
Hops does have a distinctive smell when you
Brew it?
When you brew it.
That's true.
Not that I brew it, but
My dad used to brew beer, and he was a scientist, so
yeah, that would really
that worked with
permeate
him.
the whole house.
But do you see? Look at it. The hops are coming up here. They crossed over the boundary.
They're going up here.
They covered my St. John's wort. They're coming up on the other side of the elecampane there. And Sawyer knows where the catnip bed is.
Ah.
But it's like hanging off the wall here or the fence.
That's a nice screen.
Climbing up the motherwort. It is a nice screen, and it's a fast growing
Did you
screen.
harvest any of it last year?
I didn't, because the year before I got so much, and then I realized that I want to have fresh stuff every year, and so now I'm harvesting it every year and getting rid of my old stuff. This is going to have patty pan squash growing up over it. The white scallop squash, the little one, you know.
Cute.
By the time the peas are done,
Let's see any
we
peas.
should have. But there's flowers.
Did you pick any?
There's hope of peas.
Yes.
And so then I also have some climbing tomatoes on this side so that it gets the sun.
Really? Where are they?
They're itty bitty tiny still, right here.
Okay.
And then there's one right here, one right there.
So they're like
Right there.
indeterminate.
Yes, they're indeterminate. And this rain has been so good for them.
Basil.
Basil, yeah, this is my, what is that kind of basil? That's the normal basil.
Genovese.
Yes, this is sweet Genovese.
Ah.
And then I have lettuce leaf basil over there. And then I have some purple frilly basil next to the house. And this
Can't
is
have
my
too much
carrots. And then tomatoes are growing at every string here.
So
Which
how are
she
these
knows
holding
because
up?
she watches my videos quite often. Yes, those are holding up really well.
Yeah.
And these carrot, I'm actually going to be getting some seed off of these because I wanted to make my own seed for carrots.
Instead of just letting them, just harvesting the root, you're gonna leave it be.
Yeah, I'm going to leave it be.
Well, that's nice and fat.
And some beans coming up, onions.
What on earth is this?
These are my leeks.
Ah. I've never grown a leek.
I had a whole bed of them, and we ate a bunch of them, but I've just left these two kind of just to see what happens, like, because I've never done it either. But look, this is my best calendula plant that I've got going so far. But I planted calendula well before the last frost date, and we had many frosts since I planted it. but it's still doing really well. Oh, the beeping. That is my anti-vole device that my voles have taken up residence around. It's like they live in a community next to the anti-vole device. I don't understand. But look at under here. This is so exciting.
Is this for your cauliflower? And...
Yeah, this is for the Brussels sprouts are behind here. But look at how good they look. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, they're really,
really good.
Really, really good. I am
Good
so
job.
excited about that. I'm so excited. Because
good thing.
Yeah, you know, I have been, I struggled before growing the Brussels sprouts because I was always a little bit lackadaisical about putting that cover over when I needed to.
Oh,
so, is that Sweet William?
Yeah.
That's part of my seed scattering
Pretty sure it
extravaganza that I did, and so I don't know.
That's a beautiful plant.
But do you see how the cherries are ripening? Look, we got one that's a bright red. We want them to be dark red before we eat them.
Those are the sour cherries.
They're the tart cherries, but they're sweet enough to be able to eat on its own. And then look, I've got peppers growing really well. These peppers are just really shining. This is all sweet peppers, and then there's spicy peppers up there. So my paprika and my cayenne and stuff. And I've got calendula planted like every 2 feet.
Onions?
And onions planted, because you got to do that. You don't want to have the monoculture, you know. She knows all these things. She's just out here letting me ramble on about stuff. And then
I don't know.
oh, Mom, this is my Dan Shen. This is a big deal. This is sage. This is the red-rooted sage, and it is very the rare red-rooted sage. And
say that 3 times.
It has beautiful blue flowers.
Smells good.
And it's getting ready to flower, and it's not supposed to do well in my zone, but it's doing fabulous. And this is the second year that it's come back overwintered, and I want to get those roots big and fat, and I want them to spread before I start harvesting them. Feverfew. Oh, we didn't even say. Do you see the beans growing? The bean plants, the bush beans? Yeah. And I've got rainbow chard, and then turnips. That roughly.
That's huge already.
Right? So, that's exciting. I feel like everything is... Oh, here.
It's very lush.
This is my eggplants.
Oh.
A couple of them got attacked by some beetles, so I'm going to be coming out here and spraying them with some soap water. Nothing toxic, nothing bad.
So there's a couple different things on here.
Yes, there's different kinds of eggplants, and then there's some medicinal herbs growing in between them. This is so fun to have my mom in the garden because she and my dad were the ones that started me on gardening when I was a kid, like a really long time ago. And I have a strong feeling that as a child, things stick with you, and so I blame my gardening love on them and blame it. Thank them for that. And it's just nice to be able to share it with her. I got cucumbers growing up right here, and then there's going to be tulsi growing everywhere. I spread the seed. Holy basil.
Oh.
And then these are my Rosa Sharon. So I planted Rosa Sharon from seed 3 years ago, and this is them now. This is they're getting huge. I've got one right here, one right there, and then one right here, and I just got to figure out a place to put them because I thought that they were when I planted them, I thought they were the red roselle hibiscus, where you could harvest the hips, but it's the tree, and I learned that very quickly because I had other hibiscus seeds that were.
It looks like it wants to be tall.
Cantaloupe. And then butternut squash.
If you must.
Mom is not a huge fan of squash. That's okay. She likes other things. Potatoes. My beans are really doing well. But this is my licorice bed. And this is, my asparagus is falling over from the rain. The licorice, official licorice, which is not Chinese licorice. This is like the licorice. And so it is very difficult to grow a patch of licorice, the real official root of licorice, and not Chinese licorice or Russian licorice. Like this is it. And so and then the voles,
There they are.
eat them, cats, get them. The voles
Love licorice?
Yeah, because it's sweet like candy.
Oh.
The roots are very, very sweet. Well, the voles stopped attacking them last year and moved on to my food forest. So at least I guess the good thing about that is now I get to have my licorice bed. And so I haven't cleared out my yarrow here.
These are cute.
And my onions are as tall as you. Which is not saying a whole lot. My mother is very petite.
What is that about? Why are they getting so big?
Because my soil is incredible. My soil is full of nutrients.
When do you harvest them?
Those onions I'm getting seed from. So I have a few that I let go to seed, and then the little ones are the ones that I'm growing.
What kind of
harvest this year.
that you want to see?
Those are the bunching onions. So I had a really huge bed of them up in my food forest up there, but I moved them and then ate them because they're delicious. So it is getting dark. We should probably call it quits. But that's kind of like a general tour with my mother. Just showing her around. I'm so excited to have her here. My garden, and this is not like a full tour or anything. I'll do a more intensive tour and show you everything, but I just wanted you guys to be able to join us as we walked around the garden and just kind of enjoyed the evening after the chaos of a children's birthday party. I'm sure everybody can understand if you have kids. I hope that you guys have an absolutely wonderful day. If you could hit the like button, that helps a lot. Also, leave me some comments. Let me know, what do you want to know about the gardens here, or about the homestead, or the animals, or anything like that, because I just kind of do what I'm doing every day. But I know that there are specific questions that you have. I had someone ask me to make specific videos the other day, and I am so thankful. And I'm going to be getting on those immediately. And so thank you, Sunny Day, for that. I really appreciate that a lot. Like that really brought me joy.
What a great name.
I know, isn't that a great name? I love it, Sunny Day. Like, I just kind of want to know you. So if you could leave me some comments, if you have questions about anything, I'd love that. Also hit the subscribe button, because I'm going to be putting out videos almost every day. And then also that notification bell so that you can see when new videos come out, which is usually morning. Sometimes, I do stuff in the garden and I end up downloading videos a little bit later in the night, but it's mostly in the mornings before afternoon. But anyway, I hope you guys have an absolutely wonderful night. Thank you for joining me and my mother, and I hope
Isn't she great?
she has to say that she's my mom. I hope you guys stay blessed.